What's up, guys? Welcome to this episode of Beers and Breakdowns. In this episode, we're doing SCP-S.T.A.L.K.E.R, which is the latest from the Evan Royalty and the director,
Stephen Hancock.
So we're excited to check it out. I really enjoyed it. Let us know if you guys watched it already and what you think. Obviously, we have no idea what's going on in the genre of SCP and how it works, but we're dipping our toes in, and so far we like what we see. So on the back end, we're gonna have to go in and start learning more about the universe and how it works and stuff, because the tactics are really cool, and I think it's amazing in that this is the future of merging special operations with, you know, supernatural. I think it's really cool. I'm new to it. I know they've been doing it a long time, and you guys have already known that it's cool for a long time. But man, I can't wait for this to become so mainstream that like guys like Evan Royalty and
Stephen Hancock.
Stephen Hancock are just getting bigger and bigger, making these movies all the time for us to watch. So also, big news. I know the last time we did a batch of videos, Trump was still having the social media ban on special operations, but he lifted it. So our new show, Special Forces: The Next Generation, is finally cleared, hot, and ready to go and ready to drop. So April 27th is going to be the first episode. Guys, please, we're asking you so much to tune into that episode. We're going to be doing a massive giveaway and you do not want to miss it. I'm talking about my entire everyday carry I'm giving to you guys. So check that out. Make sure you're there for it. And check out the trailer right now.
Camp Landing is in Stark, Florida, which is probably one of the worst places you would ever want to do an SFRE.
It's called the Special Forces Readiness Exam. You can come right off the street as a civilian, active duty or guard, different branches. You can be a Marine or in the Air Force and try out for the unit.
I was going for a miracle. I'm an older guy.
No, it's about business. It's about the standard. It's just my job to just show up and just get it done.
I was nervous, I'm not gonna lie.
For this show, we just wanted to peel back the curtain and show people what it's truly like to become a Green Beret.
We want to see that grit and determination more than anything. If you refuse to get back up, then it's a failure.
For this selection process, we had 60 high-speed people show up. I promise you that none of these guys are gonna leave the same way that they showed up. They have no idea what they're in for.
Whatever led you here, you must have been lying to yourself about the reality of it.
Bro.
Again, don't forget April 27th. Set your calendars. Please be there. Put it all in the forums. Tell everyone about it. And someone's going to win my entire everyday carry. We're going to do a whole video showing you what that entails and then knocking that out for you. And it is a lot of money.
I can't believe you're giving all that away.
I know. And it literally hurts me inside to have it leave my hands because I've cultivated it and made it so nice, and I don't want to give it away. But we want you guys to watch that show more because we think it's going to help the future of special operations with recruitment, with getting people excited about special operations, and with allowing people to just see what it's like to become a Green Beret and enjoy the process so they can support their military more. So there's all kinds of positives behind it outside of just us making a show and then showing it to you.
Yeah, and you get just the taste on that trailer. There are some parts that are not in that trailer that is going to show you just how extremely difficult this is. When we're doing it, Abel was there filming it. I remember at one point Abel looked at us and was like, "Did you guys do this?" And I was like, "Yeah, we did it." I can't believe we did it. Like watching these guys go through some of the stuff that we actually went through, I'm proud of what my old self did. Yeah, no, I'm looking at it like I couldn't do this.
I'm looking at it now and I'm like, nope, I didn't want any part of that, dude. So make sure you guys tune in. And for some of you, it's going to be a real gut check because some of you want to be Special Forces and you're going to be able to say, you know, I could do that, but I need to get some work in. I need to get some training in. and I'm gonna get it. And some of you, it's gonna motivate so much that you're gonna go from I think I want to do it to I 100% want to do it. And we're pumped about that.
We'll get that fire.
Yeah, you're gonna get that fire in your chest, you're gonna get that fire in your belly, and you are going to train harder, be smarter about your training, and you're gonna go achieve it. And some of you, because of this show, are gonna earn Green Berets, and you're gonna be part of our brotherhood.
Yep. Also, make sure you guys check out, they have the Barbell 11th anniversary sale is starting. It's actually right now. It's buy two, get one free, mix and match. Goes now through April 28th. Again, they have an amazing guarantee, a warranty. If you rip any of the clothes, if you put on size, you lose size, whatever it is, and you need more, like bigger or smaller clothes, they'll exchange it out for you. These guys have been a big supporter of the channel for a long time. It's basically all we wear. Like, even if I'm not filming, I wear my barbell apparel all the time. Yeah. Check them out. We've got the S.T.A.L.K.E.R line, which is our own personal line with barbell. So if you go there, go to the search bar, type in FNG Academy. You can check out the new Think Fast, Move Slow shirt.
Dude, somebody
we've got shorts, all kind of stuff.
Somebody said like, you guys should have a line with barbell. And we're like, we do.
We do, man. You're in luck. Yeah. Click the link below.
I wish that you knew about it. We're not doing a good job at advertising. And then somebody else said like, oh, this is just a big ad. We have one sponsor on this channel, guys. Like it's a very good ad to do. They're great. So we're not inundating you with like VPNs and stuff like that. So I'm sorry that we're pumping a brand that we really enjoy.
You should see all like the ones we turned down. There's one for a freaking vape company. It's like, we don't vape. We're not going to do anything like that. If you catch me or Sean in public, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be wearing a barbell shirt or shorts or something like that. So it's not just, you know, because they sponsor the show.
And if you guys see us in public and you say what's up, we're absolutely shaking your hand. We're absolutely going to dap it out with you and say what's up to you, talk to you for a minute. It doesn't happen all the time. It's not like this channel is that big, but when it does happen, we appreciate as much as you guys do. So if you do see us, we will be wearing barbell and we will say what's up to you and we will talk to you. And if there's beer around, we will have a beer with you. You know, so cool. So appreciate you guys. Let's jump into this episode. Nope.
All those dead leaves.
Yeah, sorry, guys. That's a huge no for me. Here's the thing about S.T.A.L.K.E.R. S.T.A.L.K.E.R is getting a little different. S.T.A.L.K.E.R is the acting has gone up. The storyline has gone up. A lot of things have gone up from Dollhouse and the other ones. Yeah. One thing I'm not vibing, and I wish I was there with these guys, is the tactic scenes. This doesn't flow. This knife scene, and it's hard because I really like this show. I like this movie, this short film a lot. I just wish I could go back and be like, guys, let's fix this real quick, because it's minor changes that we could do to make this so much better. Him just sitting there with his gun to his side, with the leaves everywhere. It's noisy, and then the guy just like happens to not look anywhere. He's just super focused on where he's gonna go take a leak. And then he just walks up, and the execution doesn't vibe. None of this like tactics wise is vibing with me.
Yeah, I will say it's unfortunate that this is the first scene of the movie, because I kind of felt the same way. I actually did enjoy the movie. I think that it does get a lot better. But for the opening scene to be this, immediately I was kind of like, just like kind of out of it at that point. It brought me back in eventually, but the first scene, if you're gonna have a scene like this, you gotta.
It's got to be impactful. It's got to be aggressive, and and we could have fixed it. I wish we were there, because we could have fixed it with just a few tweaks of the actors' behavior and mannerisms. You don't get up all willy nilly. You don't kind of walk up and then just grab him and then hold him. Like it's just the aggression is gone. But we could have changed that. Yeah. You got to give him a little bit better of a position, even if the director wanted him to be nonchalant, because he's so used to being in here in the woods, and he's so used to like killing people, like whatever the mode is. We could adjust his tactics a little bit, but we needed to do something to that. Aggression needs to be because this is how it was in Afghanistan. Like, no joke, there would be times where I had my pants down, laying in some Afghan's cot, trying to take a rest, and then like trying to cool off and take a rest with my teammates, and then all of a sudden we hear the gunfire get close, pants up, guns up, we're back to focus. And so you click on. And so I would just like to see this actor, this guy, this character click on and get into his killer mode and then be extremely aggressive and violent, and then he could go back to being
For him,
subdued.
it's almost like the vibe I got was like he's just exhausted, he's done, and he's like, oh, there's a target, and just like gets up and walks over and like,
Yeah, it's like he almost went and killed a lame deer, or something.
I think a good rule of thumb is always think about speed, surprise, violence, and action.
Yes.
And this one kind of
lacked those things.
Lacked all. Yeah, like even the surprise was just kind of like, oh, there's somebody there.
Speed was super slow. Violence was not there, and or violence of action was not there. Surprise was not there because of all the leaves and the rustling and the noise.
Yeah.
So essentially, the three main things you didn't hit, which again could it just easily been fixed a little bit if the director had someone that knew those things and could have been like, hey, dude, let's fix these things real fast. And I'm not trying to sell ourselves. I just see this so much potential.
Yeah.
All right, so again, this one is like, the coolness is almost there like it was before, but we're lacking a little bit. So they essentially, and I could see where the directors get kind of like, they have to film it to make it look good, and they're worried about how it looks, because it looks great. Mm-hmm. It films great. But when you're watching it tactically, you're like, okay, so we got essentially a standoff of 3 sentries, and then you guys just go get in line with them, hunker down behind a wall, pop up and shoot them straight on. I was like, tactically, we would never do that. We're going to be thinking about how to get a vantage point, how far away can we be when we shoot, how are we going to sneak up on them for, again, that speed, surprise, and violence of action. This looks like a paintball setup.
Yeah.
To where you run to your paintball position, you pop up and you shoot, and the better shot wins. And so there is the uniforms look great, the filming looks great, the acting is way like leaps and bounds over what it used to be. So we're improving in all these things, but tactically, I feel like we're going down a little bit.
It's interesting that you say that about the paintball aspect, because I'll need to reach out to the director, Steven, and find out. But I'm pretty sure they use, like, a lot of these people in these movies have a lot of airsoft experience. So maybe they're also drawing kind of off that. I know airsoft and paintball are two different. I'm sure the airsofters and the paintballers are going to get pissed off that I combined the two or compared the two. But I think some of the tactics are probably pretty similar. So maybe that's where they're getting some of their tactical advice or knowledge from.
And you have to be careful about that, because we're not saying that paintball isn't cool and airsoft isn't cool. I think both those things I used to love, and I'm talking about love paintball. I was obsessed with paintball. I love it so much. And I would love to get back into it because it's so much fun. But everything changes the tactics. Your bullet trajectory, your bullet velocity, your the consequences of getting hit by those. Everything changes your tactics. So if you're running a paintball scenario or an airsoft, how the bullet drop, how far that bullet can go is going to change your tactics. If I know that your bullet drop is going to be down here, and I could have you in my sight and know that your bullet can't hit me, obviously my tactics are going to completely change based on that. So you can't compare. You can compare a lot of the things from those as far as movement and tactical mindset, but there's also going to be a lot of things that don't transfer to real bullets, because what's the max effective range of an M4, AK-47, M9 pistol? So once you start getting into max effective range, and then what's the consequences of getting hit? I get hit with a paintball, I'm out. I get hit with a bullet, I'm bleeding to death.
Yeah.
So all of those things change your psyche, which change your tactics and your approach.
With you talking about it, it reminds me of doing CQB training when you're doing dry runs. Or with blanks, and then you go through and you add in the paint rounds. And the first time you get hit with a paint round, especially like unprotected, like in the neck or something, you're like, that shit hurts. it changes your tactics. All of a sudden, you're not as confident going. I remember specifically, I was the #1 man going down a hallway, and I just see a little blue barrel come around the edge of the corner in front of us, and in my mind, I was like, oh shit.
Yep.
And like I remember trying to like scooch up against the wall. I was still a new guy at the time, and the cadre or the instructor was like, "What are you doing?" It's like, these are bullets. Scooching against the wall isn't going to help. Fire back and continue moving down the hallway. You're in a danger area. But I just knew I didn't want to get hit by that paint round anymore. And so it changes. Yeah, you're right. The consequence of your action will change, and you'll notice that, you know, like you said, if you're doing paintball, you can't have that much standoff. You're going to be a lot closer.
Right. Yeah, you go do CQB training, and you guys are all in your dry fire phase. Everyone's heroic.
Oh yeah,
you're a heroic because I'm going in, I'm doing everything, and then all of a sudden, but that's why Special Forces training is so good.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden we add blanks, so then now noise is making you get a little tweaked out, and it's changing your perception because you're starting to simulate the reality of it. And then all of a sudden you add the blue barrels, and you're adding those paint rounds, and you can have the regular paint rounds that don't hurt that bad, and then you step it up to the sim rounds that will actually penetrate skin, and now you could be going to the hospital. And then all of a sudden everyone slows down. Now they're looking harder. Now they're pieing a little crispier, you know?
And so for civilians that don't have a frame of reference what we're talking about, it's not a paintball. It takes basically your M4, which is a 5.56, and it rechambers it in a 9mm paint round. So you think it's a 9mm round, but it's paint, and it's small, it's super fast, and it hurts. And at the end of the day, if you get hit, especially if it's unprotected, you will have welts, you'll have bruises.
Well, there's a step up from the 9mm paint rounds.
Which one?
So then you have the 5.56 ones with the little tip in it. And that 5.56 one with the little tip. So you got the 9mm paint rounds, is what most people do because it's cheaper. Mm-hmm. But then you also have the next step above that is the sim round, and it's got a little pellet in it, a paint pellet. And those paint pellets will go in your skin.
That sounds miserable.
So you step it up as high as you could safely train. And safely doesn't mean like not gonna go in your skin and make you go to the hospital. Yeah. It's like you're not gonna die.
I mean, that's kind of the point. You want it to be as realistic as possible. I mean, obviously you can't shoot back at each other with real life rounds, but you're gonna take it kind of as close as you can get to make sure that you understand, like, this is a two-way street. Like, people are shooting back at you.
I like the way they opened the door. He wasn't standing in front of the door. He opened it and let the other guys flow in, which is exactly how we would do it. So kudos for that. But then they get in, and I'm not saying it's wrong. I don't know. The dip, they went transverse like this. I don't know. I don't know what they're looking for. I've never seen that before. I don't know what tactic that is. I am lost. I don't know. I saw that and I rewinded it 3 times to try and figure out what the goal of you going up, me going down, and then you going up, and then switching that. You going down, me going up, and then coming back in line right before a hallway. I'm like, maybe there's something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, in my mind, when I saw it, I thought whatever their SOP is, that's some form of communication. Because like we talked about in the last one, when you're doing a CQB like this, a lot of times you're silent, you're not talking, so you will have barrel movements and things like that. That is a form of communication. So I mean, like you said, we don't know. It could be right, could be wrong. SOPs and tactics change from team to team.
The only thing that made me go away from that being a communication is how high up they went. I'm out of the fight now.
Yeah, he did go.
And you're so far down, you're out of the fight. So if someone pops up, your 2 #1 man, your 2 #1 guys,
that's true, are
completely out of the fight.
One's up here, one's down here.
One's up here, one's down here. So you're out of the fight here. So I don't think it's a signal, because we would have done a small dip so we could stay, center mass. So they went all the way up and then all the way down. The only thing I could think of is a booby trap check, and that they wanted to double check each other's work.
Like an overlord when they're rubbing the door.
Yeah, I don't know on that one. So
yeah, maybe it's just one of those exaggerated movements to let the audience know. I don't know. Because maybe, I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's probably just a movie thing.
All right, so once again, these guys shine in hallways.
They love clearing hallways. I love watching it too. Yeah. It's good to see.
Hallways is one of the more difficult things you'll ever do in law enforcement, special operations, SWAT, whatever you're in. Your team SOP, you're going to have to work together a lot as a team to get your hallways down packed. These guys clearly make their guys work this hallway. And I would say that they spend the majority of the time just thinking through their hallways. While, the guys are out filming other things, these guys are in there doing their hallways because it looks really good. The one thing I'll ding them on is the body check shot. So by body check, I'm just referring to double tap in a downed person. So when we do that, we're always doing that with the person still in front of us. We're never doing a turn back to shoot a body. I'm not turning to my side to double tap and then going back. Would I do it? Sure, if I was really concerned about it and I feel like the risk of doing that versus giving up my front to a potential enemy is worth it. But I also have to realize that I failed my job of doing that way back. Mm-hmm. So if I let's say I'm in a hallway and I'm about to clear a room. So I put 2 in the guy. I'm not going to bypass this. So then I'm going to flow in. Hopefully the guy behind me puts 2 more. Everyone's putting around in that guy. So that's been done over and over and over again. So by the time I get out, I don't need to do that. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to make sure that it happens as much right away. So then, because you're
not leaving it to chance.
You're not leaving it to chance, and you just don't want to shoot backwards for obvious reasons of your guys being behind you, and then you're giving up your front for security.
Yeah. I
so
agree.
Just minor nitpick. If I was on the catwalk and I was evaluating a team, I'd just be like, hey, bro, don't do that. Take care of it beforehand. Look at number 2, man. Look at him. Boom. I love that scene. And most people would just be like, oh, it's 2 guys walking. That actor, the number 2 man in this scene, does an amazing job. He's actually looking.
Yeah.
He's not just walking.
Right.
Like this.
Going through the motions.
He's looking in the dead spaces and seeing what he can see.
I love how he's got the rifle like cocked to the side, pulled up over his shoulder, so he's not. You could tell he's manipulated a rifle before. Yeah. And there is a guy on here. It was Overlord. One of the actors. I'm not sure if he's on this one, but he might be. Had multiple tours to Iraq.
Nice.
And so, like this guy here, you could tell like he's done this for real, or at least enough times or trained with somebody that's done it for real, because he looks so authentic.
Yeah, and just the fact that he cares about the movie enough to be like, hey, this may be the 5th time I filmed this scene, but I'm still gonna look as though I'm looking for the first time.
Yeah.
Like he made it so good. For tactical guys, I was like so happy when I saw him like looking up, peering and looking around. I was like, this guy's actually looking for stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, this is awesome. So
good job.
Yeah, good job, dude.
If Crow is right, we're covered by anomalies east and west. They're going to hit us from the south. Means fighting them is going to be simple. Getting back is going to be complicated.
Better hope to get more than they got. Well, seeing as we can use the plastic on the doors.
That's cute. Definitely I get the humor scene. Like he pulls out the big brick and you all look at him. Like, it's kind of funny. The brick of C4 was absolutely ridiculous. Like, I was like, literally looks like 10 sticks of C4 taped together.
When they first introduced that earlier in the movie, and they're like, what are you doing? Like, you just need det cord. We're trying to just breach a door and not bring down a building. And he's like, you'll see, because he really wants to use it, and just for him to pull it out and be like,
Yeah, it was pretty.
Like, I don't know. Like, are you trying to take down an entire building with that?
Yeah. So, but good heavens, dude! Like that C4 is heavy. I don't know if you guys ever held, like, probably most of you haven't held a brick of C4, and that's probably a good thing. But it's not light. Like 10 10 bricks of C4 packed together, it's gonna be like, I feel like it'd be like 10 pounds.
I feel like he just pulled that out of his cargo pocket.
Yeah.
So it's just been like,
and he was just like sitting there like, ah.
He's
I'm
just
like,
happy to get rid of that freaking thing at this point.
I'm like, I'm not carrying that. So I would do, if it was me and I just wanted to have some extra charges on me, I'm gonna do some C4 packed to some dip cans.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't need the full block of C4.
Right.
That's the beautiful thing about it. It's plastic. It's like Play-Doh. You can cut it in pieces. You can put it into a dip can. It's super resilient. It's not going to go off by itself. You can actually light it on fire. Like I've seen, like we had to get rid of a whole bunch of C4, and we just laid it all out in a big pile and burned it and lit it on fire. As long as it doesn't have heat and pressure together, it's not going to explode. So as long as it can have all the heat in the world, it's just going to burn. Like if you're cold, we can have blocks of C4 right here and light it on fire, cook our food on it. I mean, it probably have some chemicals coming off, but it'll keep you warm. So it's very stable, and there's other ways to carry it other than a bunch of blocks just taped together.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing about if you were a Charlie is you could just say like, hey, I want everyone to have a dip can of C4 on them. Like you don't have to use it, you don't have to have blasting caps, but whatever that Charlie is envisioning, it was like, oh, what might we deal with and how do I solve that? Well, it'd be really nice if everybody had X, Y, or Z.
Right.
And then just tell your team, this is my thought process, this is my plan. I would like you guys to all carry this. I've kept it as light as possible. Cool. Everyone would be like, whatever, dude, capiche.
They're going to give you shit, but everybody's going to. Bravos want you to carry more ammo. Yep. The Echoes want you to carry batteries. Everybody wants you to carry something. So, I mean, of course, you're going to give them shit for it. But at the end of the day, you know it's for the mission, so you're going to do it.
And the only person you say no to is the Echo.
Of course. Carry your own damn it. And don't you have a wind-up thing you can hand crank the battery?
I like carrying extra batteries, bro. I don't care.
Those batteries suck.
I'd rather yell. Those things are too heavy. They take up too much room. So the only person, future Green Berets out there, the only person you could say no to is the Echo, unless he's the team sergeant.
The Echo is the most thankless job on the team because no matter what, it's always your fault. Yeah. And when you do your job properly and the comms work, that's when it's supposed to happen. So nobody's like, oh, good job on getting comms. But if they don't work, then, oh, God, the Echo's got a tough ride. It is
always about you're about to roll out of the gate, and they're like, like, where's the Echo? My stuff's not working. And they run up. It was like, it was always Tom. Did you put your whatever in this morning? And I'm like, no, dude. Like, that's your job. And he's like, I hate you, Buck. It's everyone's job. I'm like, you keep saying that, but I keep not listening, and everything is moving forward.
You know the way this is going to work. You're going to wind up fixing it for me anyway. Like, the funny thing is you'll be in the team room, and like you'll try to print something, and the printer won't work. You'll be like, Echo! It's like, are you serious? It's electronic. It doesn't work. Fix it.
It's funny. It's true. It's like, well, someone's got to do it, and you're the closest. That's another bit of advice for any future Green Berets. Go Delta. Nobody ever pollinates with the deltas, like the medic. No one's ever like, this needs to get done. Who's the closest person to that job? It's never medical.
I feel like our medic was rarely in the team room. He was always off doing like whatever. Yeah. I don't even know what he was out doing. He was probably just messing off at the gym.
Yeah, he's probably at home. All right, so this scene, I was hoping a little more from the bad guys. Mm-hmm. Did you see the one where the part where they took off his mask and how creepy that dude was? That was so sick. And then the part where they shot the guy multiple times and he just kept taking it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then so I was thinking, all right, now they're about to have that guy like come at them, like a bunch of those guys that could just take a bunch of rounds. So the way I'm thinking is that if these guys, again, your tactics, consequences of their artillery, let's say. So if you're shooting paintballs at me, I'm going to be more aggressive. If you're shooting even if you're shooting 5.56 at me, but I could take 10, 15 of them, How is that going to change my tactics?
Oh, you're going to be much more loose and aggressive.
Right. I'm going to be way more aggressive. I'm not running around looking for cover. Like, you can hit me 10, 15 times, bro. Yeah. Like, I'm chilling.
I might just run like this at you. Take a couple rounds here and there, but I'm getting
coming for you, dude. So that's what I was hoping for, is that they made these guys just like, or they had like a few that weren't able to do that, so they were more human. And then the other ones could take rounds or just juggernauting straight for you.
Yeah.
That would have been sick.
Almost like the White Walkers. Almost.
Yeah.
Well, I do like how the scene was shot. I get Band of Brother vibes with that like shaky cam and the way like the camera's always moving and then it like jumps from one guy to a next and like, I don't know, I feel the nitty grittiness of it and I think I get a lot of Band of Brothers vibes of it. So I like the way it was shot.
I think it's shot beautiful. Yeah. I just wanted more from the bad guys. I wanted them to be less human.
Yeah.
Because they took that dude's mask off. It was so creepy. And then that one took so many rounds. I was like, oh, when these guys show up, this is going to be a bad day.
Yeah, you guys are screwed.
You guys are shafted. And they were just so human. I was like, boring. Yeah. Like, be less human. And part of being less human is just be not afraid and just juggernauting right down the middle like freaking Michael from Friday the 13th. Because you could take bam, 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 bam.
You gotta hit him like right in the headshot.
Yeah,
in order to take him down or something.
You know, just make him creepy, and then maybe he takes some, and then you could see him kind of like bleeding, like even just pouring blood, and he's still coming at you. Yeah. You know, that's scary. Make the bad guys just less human. All right, so just to wrap this up, the Russian dude. At first, I was like, the accent's weird. This kind of weird. But then I really liked his character. Mm-hmm. Like he really developed into something very cool. And then he ended up being like one of my more favorite characters. Yeah. Because it made him seem like a video game. Like, oh, he's different. He's one of these unique characters that's doing his own thing, and he's just completely different from all the other guys, tactically, mentally, you know, geographically. I mean, it just became really cool.
Yeah, he was an attachment to the team because he had local knowledge and expertise about the area they're in, and actually got so kind of ingrained with the team that they invited him to be part of the team at the end. Which,
so that was pretty sick.
Yeah, and he was just that whole like tormented soul. Like you could see it in his eyes, the way they did his makeup. He's like got the dark bags under his eyes. He's super pale skin. Like you could tell like that guy has seen some shit. Yeah. And like he portrays that really well, I thought.
And then he had a good, you know, when he's in the bunker and he finds out that the scientist is like double crossing him, and like his conflict of his, you know, he's got like integrity things going on. Like it was just good character development from him. At first, it felt very cheesy, and I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. But then he was very surprisingly good, and this character is very cool.
Yep. Yeah, overall, I thought this project was pretty cool. The director was telling me, like, this has been their biggest project to date. I'm pretty sure they crowdsourced majority, if not all, of the funding for this. And I'm kind of excited to see what comes next.
Yeah, I'd be very proud of this if I directed something like this and like made this whole movie. I mean, this is better than what a lot of Hollywood is putting out.
We've seen a ton of them, and that's why we've done these. And like I get excited to watch these because it's different, it's cool, and it's not a copy paste of Lone Survivor and these other movies.
Right. So good job, guys. I think you nailed it. I would love for Kurt and I to come out and help it on the next one if we can. Just to try and like, if you could just let us throw in some tactical stuff so we could, not that you're doing a great job already, but we like it so much we want to help and we want to see it succeed even more. So hope you guys enjoy the episode breaking down this SCP-S.T.A.L.K.E.R. And just nothing but love for these guys, and I hope they continue because I do truly believe that guys like this are the future of the movie industry. I think Hollywood is losing its ability to captivate us, and I think it's people like this that have been in these other genres for a very long time. I think it's time for them to shine because mainstream wants this because we are so bored of what Hollywood is putting out, what we've been getting for the past so many years. So this is the future. I can't wait to see more of it. Hope you guys enjoy it, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.